pleasure to welcome you here to our PhenoRob Female Talk Series at the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. And we are very happy that you all are here, and we're able to line up 6 outstanding speakers for the day today. So the day is roughly organized in the way that we have always 1 or 2 talks, and then there's either a coffee break or a lunch break, so that there are also plenty of opportunities for interacting with our speakers, networking all together, and so that we all will have an enjoyable day. I would also welcome especially Frau Schmitz-Möller, who is the responsible person for agricultural sciences at the DFG, so also a person with whom we interacted a lot in the context of the evaluation process of the cluster and the great support by the DFG, so we're very happy that you're here, and also that all of you made it, and it's our great pleasure to have all of you here.
Okay, good morning everybody, warm welcome from my side as well. Yeah, you have seen the program, and there may be some slight changes due to the weather conditions. Asmat Behe, coming from California, had some problems yesterday, but she will arrive soon hopefully, but there will probably some changes, yes. And I mean, this is one outcome of our Cluster of Excellence, and we have today the opportunity to invite 6 outstanding scientists to give us presentations about their topics. And we will have some more of these events in different formats. And yeah, today the focus, as you have seen, is because we invited 6 female scientists. It's related to this International Day. And of course, the equal opportunity is not only a task within our Cluster of Excellence, but also from the university's point of view. And we are very happy that the Vice Rector for University Development and Equal Opportunity is present today, and he will give us a short presentation of his thoughts about this topic of equal opportunity and the role of the university. So it's a pleasure for me to introduce Professor Klaus Sandmann for this talk.
Okay. Well, as you introduced me as one of the vice rectors, so we have 5 vice rectors, so maybe some of you don't know this, and each of us has a different purpose subject he or she is working on. So Maren is also one of our vice rectors, so thank you very much that I have the opportunity in your home faculty to address something. As you said, I'm vice rector for University Development and Equal Opportunity, and that sounds a little bit strange. Yeah? So it was starting when this rectorate started as a vice rector of planning and development, and that is to let a little bit mimic the subject of finance or all resources in this university. And that is, I think, very good for introducing also equal opportunity, because that is one of the main resources. These are the people in our university, and let me stress this explicitly. We are talking about people and human resources. Now, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to welcome you also in the name of Michael Hoch, our rector, to today's PhenoRob Female Talk series. As you know, and I will repeat some of the things you see in the internet, as you know that this kind of event, the annual International Day for Women and Girls in Science, was introduced on the 22nd of December 2015 by the UN. And since then, we now have the 5th, I think, International Day of Women and Girls in Science. Why is it necessary to have international days? Well, if you look on the internet, you will find some arguments, and I think there are also arguments for our university. On an abstract level, International days are occasions to educate the public on issues which are of common concern. It is also necessary to, or used to mobilize political will and resources to address global problems, and last but not least, to celebrate and reinforce achievement of humanity. Each International Day offers the actors the opportunity to organize activities related to the themes of that day. In case of the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, obviously universities are one of the important and main actors who have to make this day to a springboard for awareness-raising actions. Tackling some of the greatest challenges of the agenda of sustainable development, and that is more or less one of the key subjects of PhenoRob, will rely on talents, on human talents, and to create possibility for human talents. This day is an opportunity to promote full and equal access to and participation in science for women and girls. Gender equality is a global priority, and the support of young girls, their education, and their full ability to make their ideas reality are crucial for the development and also for the peace of our Earth. In a short and handy way, the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, got this to the point by saying, the world needs science, and science needs women and girls. That means getting more women working in this field. Diversity in research expands the pool of talented researchers, bringing in fresh perspectives, talent, and creativity. This day is a reminder that women and girls play a crucial role in science and technology communities, and that their participation should be strengthened. Today, on worldwide numbers, just 30% of researchers worldwide are women. And according to UNESCO data, only 30 to 35%, depending on how you treat these data or how you interpret this data, of all students, so only 30 to 35% of all students enroll in STEAM-related fields, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, are women. How is the situation at your university or at the University of Bonn? Well, in principle, similar, but in details there are differences, yes? At present, the percentage of female professors at the University of Bonn is a little bit higher than 19%. The average percentage over all universities in Germany, if I take the data which are just published in 2018, is 24%. So that tells me, as one of the responsible vice rectors, that Bonn ranks in the lower third in Germany with respect to these numbers. 1.5 years ago, 6 research applications of our university achieved the recognition as clusters of excellence, among them PhenoRob. The outstanding success of this university is of course due to the outstanding researchers we have in our university. If you look at these applications, and each application had to promote or to name 25 principal investigators. Now we have 6 clusters, 2 of them are in connection with the University of Cologne, and 1 with the University of Cologne and the University of Aachen. So on average, 115 people are researchers named as PIs at this university, so professors this university. Now we have only 19% female professors, so it cannot be the case that we have 50% PIs which are women. in these applications, but 25% of them are in these applications, and more than half of them were elected to these universities during the last 5 years. So that tells you in some sense we are on a track, but it tells you a little bit more of this, that we only were able to get these 6 clusters due to the talents of our female researchers. According to the recent published numbers of our university, in German it's called the Zahlenspiegel, you can get this from the internet. Unfortunately it's from 2018, so the 2019 is still on work, but it will come soon. If we look to the number of students and relate this to gender, then we have in 2018 38,844 students, and 56% are women. So the average is, the number of female students is above average over the whole university. Now if you remember the number beforehand, it was 30 to 35% in the STEAM fields. So if we go to the STEAM fields, we have 51% female students. So the University of Bonn is not bad, and it's not an engineering university. So if we talk about STEAM fields, we have one, sorry, Rainer. We have one engineering degree in the Faculty of Agriculture, but different to Aix-la-Chapelle, or French name Aix-la-Chapelle, it is not a university with engineering science. If we look at the students who are graduated, then 58% in 2018 were women out of the 4,378. But still, the number of our professors, female professors, is only 90%. If we look at the numbers of PhD students who finished their PhD in 2018, it's around 48% who are women. So what does it tell me as one of the responsible vice rectors? We, as a lot of other universities, we have a huge gender gap problem. Yeah? So when it comes from finishing your study, even finishing a PhD, to getting an academic, to come to an academic career, which may give you the possibility to become a professor, then it immediately goes down. And at that point, we have to address. The University of Bonn is committed to change this fundamentally, this gender gap which we have. Therefore, the University of Bonn is implementing a gender equality strategy. One starting point is to considerably potential of renewal, so that means vacant professors in the future, result from new appointments, which will force the university in the next 5 years to hire or to replace around roughly 1/3 of their professorships. So that is not really astonishing. If you think about the age when somebody becomes full professor, then it's depending on subjects, so we must be very careful. I'm coming from the economic part, so then the average is around 34 at the moment. If I go to the philosophic faculty, it's above 40, really above 40 when you get your first professorship. So it's not so astonished that during a period of 20 years, you will change more or less the whole academic board of your university. And that's actually the case during the next 5 years. Therefore, what we are looking for is a strategy which helps us to increase the number of female professors. How can we do this? At this university we have two, apart from the faculties, two very important structures, and these are called the centralized and decentralized equal equality commissioners in the university. So each faculty has decentralized, or staying in their own faculty, persons who take really care about these problems and these questions. And we committed with the faculties that they have to involve these persons right from the start in the recruitment strategy. That is really different to what we see today, and we are still on the way, to be honest, to implement this. Because what we see at the moment is that these persons are involved when the list is finished in the recruitment group. Yeah? And that is something which we discuss with or we agreed with our deans and even signed this, that they will change this. So every one of you, even if you are not professor of this faculty, should look what your faculty is doing at that point. On the management level, all faculties agreed that the success of gender equality strategies depend to a large extent on the inclusion of the decentralized gender equality commissioners in decision-making processes and the regulation processes. Together with them, the faculties have to develop subject-specific instruments to increase the proportion of women at all levels and in all areas in which women are underrepresented, and anchor this in their gender equality plans, which are actually under revision. Gender equality is not only an issue of the faculties, it is also a central issue of the strategy development plan, in German Hochschulentwicklungsplan, so one word. The Rectorate and the deans have to finish or to discuss in their work starting from next week on. One important issue is to strengthen faculty-specific strategies. Under consideration are family-friendly measures, like they are fixed in the family-friendly audit, which we did recently, and to promote the compatibility of family life with individual scientific qualification, participation in academic self-administration, and the use of further education measures. In addition to these faculty-specific measures, on a central level, the university offers a wide range of instruments to promote gender equality. This includes, of course, training, coaching, and qualification programs. But in addition, these are extended through a comprehensive program to strengthen the gender equality process, which we called in an abbreviation STEP. And in a shorthand, it has 5 instrumental packages. One package is about funding applications. That is a package which helps young female researchers in an early career stage to finance experiments, to get funding for going to a conference, to get student helper possibilities and things like this. So that's a very big package which we designed. The second is about recruitment. So some faculties always tell us that they've identified a very good female researcher, but their offer were not comparable or to the offers of other universities. Coming from economics, that's something really normal. Yeah? So whenever I try to hire a new professor, it is a good sign that I'm in competition with other universities. If I would not be in competition with other universities for that specific researcher, that sign could also be interpreted as a sign that he or she is not as good as we think. So it's normal that we have to discuss with really good researchers and of course with really good female researchers about the recruitment possibilities, resources. And the university is dedicating a lot of money and separating this only for female researchers. We also want to help, and that's independent of female researchers, also male researchers, the onboarding. So one of the things is if you change the university, then it takes you, I can tell you with experience about this because I changed a couple of times, the universities, it took you between 1.5 and 1 year to restart all your activities at the new place. And therefore we want to help you in this onboarding process. But then we also focus on those female researchers which are already at the University of Bonn. So one of the things which is really crucial, and I cannot really quote this in the same words as Professor Diller, she is a medicine professor, pronounced it, because it was pronounced in German. But she pronounced the following idea. She is in my age, and she said, we have to use our time resources to influence the decision-making processes in faculties to change the culture in some sense. And that is something which we want to help you. We want to help you to participate in all these decision-making processes if this can be in your possibility, because there is some additional resource in terms of helping persons, in terms of reducing temporarily the teaching burden, or splitting your sabbaticals. These are the things which we try to offer you and others. Yeah? And the third one, or the fifth one, sorry, is networking. This is an event where you have the opportunity to network. We also thought about, and we also financed, 2 other possibilities of networking. So one of these things is something which you have probably in the PhenoRob cluster, is we dedicate special money for female researchers to organize conferences. And we don't want, not against DRD and DFG, yeah, sorry, but we don't want that this kind of application use too much time resource of yourself. Yeah? So one of the sentences, when you think about organizing a workshop in 2021, where you want to invite leading female researchers and combine them with female researchers all over the world, so you also have incoming other researchers, then all your effort is in organizing this event, this workshop, but not in writing a long application. So the application should be something which you write in a half day, and then we credit this and give you the money for this. Yeah? The second thing is, since we don't have a lot of female professors at these universities, you are collaborating with other professors in other cities all over the world. So we implement a visiting professor program, which allows us for the next 5 to 6 years to invite each year at least 2 female professors to stay here for 3 to 6 months, whatever there's possible for them. And we try to organize everything which is around this, housing and other things which are necessary. So for one second I thought to give you more details about these packages, but I don't think that today it's the right occasion and right moment to do this. Let me just mention that all these instruments, and that's a problem to talk about these, are very flexible and personalized. In contrast to what we see out of the university, which is necessary to standardize everything, we want to credit you and give you the credit. Whether these different packages are well formulated, focused, or create impact is probably a very interesting object of future discussions, and I'm looking forward to do this. Therefore, allow me to stop now at this point. I wish you at this PhenoRob female talk series stimulating lectures, illuminating conversations, enriching encounters with inspiring scientists, and maybe very simply a good time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Klaus.